Doctor, cancer still is such a big issue in this country. Why is that the case, and why are people still getting it at an alarming rate?
Because we've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. And it's illegal in the United States for anybody but an MD to treat cancer. And the MDs who go outside of the box, like there's a doctor in Texas, his name is Brzezinski. He has a very unique way of treating brain cancer. And I don't know how many times he's had to go to court to defend himself, right? Which is why there are no alternative, quote-unquote, cancer treatment centers in the United States anymore. They're all in Mexico or Sweden or wherever, because in the US you can't treat cancer unless you're an MD, and that's a problem. And so we've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. Now remember, right, from the proper perspective, everything makes sense. Your medical doctor doesn't know what's best for you. They only know what they've been trained in. And in this case, they've been trained in allopathic reductionism. Allopathic reductionism doesn't care about the causative factor of disease. So MDs, bless their hearts, don't even know how to cure heartburn. They can't cure it. They can manage it. To the profession that does not even know how to cure heartburn, we have given $600 billion to come up with a cure for cancer. Gee, I wonder why we aren't any closer to a cure for cancer than we were when Richard Nixon declared a war on cancer, right? It's because the tumor is not the disease, it's the result of the disease. But the MD sees it as the disease. They're taking completely 100% the wrong approach towards it, so much so that years ago, I think it was 10 years ago, don't quote me on that, the American Cancer Society stopped using the word cure. Now it's a 5-year survivability. So as far as the American Cancer Society is concerned, if you're diagnosed with cancer and you get conventional treatment, chemo, radiation, surgery, and you live for 5 years and 1 day and then die from cancer, it's considered a successful treatment. And it goes into the statistical record books as a positive outcome. Cancer treatment is so bad, our outcomes are so unbelievably bad that the American Cancer Society had to move the goalposts. And they stopped talking about a cure. Now it's 5-year survivability. And everybody in the United States buys it hook, line, and sinker. There was a famous study done in 2004, right? The American Journal of Clinical Oncology. They collected, I think, 11 years of data, right? And they looked at adults who had developed cancer and were treated with chemotherapy. And what they found and published in the American Journal of Clinical Oncology, 97% of the time, chemotherapy doesn't work. It doesn't work. So if the MD medical community is all about research and double-blind this and double-blind that and, you know, let's prove it, why is chemotherapy still being rolled out? Because it's been proven to be ineffective, doesn't work. So why on earth do they do it? Because it's a gigantic moneymaker. It's gigantic money. It's gigantic money. And it's a problem because, you know, we don't have a free medical market. And when you're the king, you can do whatever you want. And so cancer treatment fails, cancer treatment fails, cancer treatment fails, cancer treatment fails, cancer treatment fails. And we keep going back to the MDs because we don't have any other option. And quite frankly, when you've been pinned with a definitive diagnosis of cancer, you're afraid for your life.
Yep.
Your medical doctor could tell you to jump off the roof of the hospital and it's going to part of the treatment and most people would do it. And it's a problem. And also, because the medical industry is an industry, right, and it's involved with money and finances and profit, most of the time the oncologist doesn't inform the patient 100% about what's going to happen. They tell the patient what to do. They don't have a conversation with the patient about what they're going to do. They order the patient, well, Sorry, Mr. Smith, you've come back with a definitive diagnosis of prostate cancer. I have you scheduled for surgery on Wednesday. You're lucky there was an opening. And then we're going to start you on chemotherapy a week later. Go see the nurse and she'll schedule it. They don't have a conversation. I wrote a book called The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. Right? You can buy it through my website, drglidden.com. Get it from amazon.com. Download it right to your Kindle or your computer. In my book, I have 10 questions that every cancer patient needs to ask their oncologist in the presence of a recording device and a witness. 10 simple questions to be politely asked. Doctor, I've just been diagnosed with such and such a type of cancer. Does the therapy that you're recommending I get on board with cure my cancer? Does it cure my cancer? What causes my cancer? If the treatment you're recommending does not cure my cancer, what can I expect? What side effects from the cancer treatment can I expect? Can the cancer treatment give me cancer? How are you going to manage the side effects of the treatment if they happen? What's going to happen to the quality of my life while I'm undergoing this treatment? And how much are you going to profit from this treatment? How much is the hospital going to profit from this treatment? And I'd like to talk to 5 of your patients in my same demographic who have had the same type of cancer, who've had the same treatment that you're recommending, to see how they're doing. I think there might be a couple of more questions, but you get my drift. These are just simple, common sense questions that you would think the doctor would be forthcoming with if the doctor became involved with medicine to actually help people. But they don't. Now, the oncologist knows that their therapy has limited chances of success. The oncologist knows what side effect it's going to create. The oncologist knows everything. But the oncologist also is of the belief, the fundamental philosophical belief, that you are screwed. You've got cancer, Jack, and there ain't no going back. So even though this therapy is only 0.5% successful, you better just shut up and take your medicine, because there's nothing else for you to do. What are you going to do, a coffee enema? There's nothing else for you to do. So I know it's not a perfect world. I know it's not a perfect therapy, but it's all we've got, and you just need to do it because I'm the doctor and I said so. And it's a problem, and nobody's addressing it, and everybody needs to.